In the last lesson, we discussed about finding the values, sum of values having a criteria using sum if and count if. Suppose we have multiple criteria and multiple ranges, so then we have to use sum ifs and count ifs. In this lesson, we will learn how to use sum ifs and count ifs with multiple criteria. So we already learned sum if and count if. Now we are going to learn sum ifs and count ifs. So we can treat sum ifs and count ifs as a plural of sum if and count if. That means in sum if and count if we use single criteria and its range. Here we can use multiple range and multiple criteria. Just to see in an example, that is we can type is equal to sum ifs, then tab. Okay, first is sum range, that is we have to show the range that is to be summed for given criteria. That is, we can, here we know that selection is here. Actually we have to convert this into absolute range. So for making this absolute range, we told in the last class, that is press Fn F4 in laptop or F4. So when pressed F4, it becomes absolute range, or otherwise as mentioned in the last video, that is you can name this range as total sales. So okay, then we can give comma here, then it's a criteria range, sales zone, that is criteria range is here, sales zone. First it was some range and the criteria range asked. Here also we have to convert it into absolute range by pressing F4. So now it is in absolute range, then put it in comma, then again criteria is sales zone. So this is the criteria. So press enter, we can see the value. This is the mobile sold in east zone by all of the salesmen. So now it is very easy because we have given absolute range. We can just copy it. When copy it and double click here, we can see the selection and also the color also in accordance with the selection. But here we know that only east is the sales zone. So in east we have to find out Ajmal, the salesman Ajmal sales amount. So we can just edit the formula, that is put the comma, then put comma here. Then next is criteria range 2. Range 2, that is we select this salesman. So it is in green color. Here also green in color. Okay, here also we have to change it into absolute range, that is F4. So it becomes absolute range with $sign. So range 2. Now we have to give the criteria, that is comma, then criteria 2. Criteria 2 is, we have to click here on Ajmal. So it is selected these two, press enter. So this is the value. So when you double click here, you can see the selection in these two. So next what we can do is just to copy it. Then copy it, then click here, only 2 is selected. So we can edit this formula also, that is the function, put the comma, then you will be asked to criteria range 3. So instead of typing all these, we just copy the formula from just above the cell. So typing is reduced. So we can, the model number we can select here and drag. So you can see the color as a selection. So here also we can convert this into absolute range by pressing F4 or Fn, combination with Fn and F4. So again we have to give the criteria, that is criteria is this one. These two is already selected because when we copied the formula. So select it here and press enter. Here we get this value. So you can examine by double clicking here, these 3 are selected. So next is we can just copy this to next cell. So here we have to edit. We have to edit, double click here and go here and click here and put the comma. When you put the comma, you will be asked about the criteria range 4. So color is range 4 here. So you can select. Then we have to convert it into F4. It is not obligatory. There is no compulsion. But when you drag, the cell address will change. In order to avoid the changing of cell address by relative reference, we make it absolute reference. That is next, put the comma, then you will be asked about criteria 4. Criteria 4 is actually the color, that is here. Click here and press enter. You can get these values. So here, this is the sales of Ajmal. Now we can edit here. We can edit and type here. Suppose we select here and type it as north. Then you can see the value will change. When you press enter, the value will change here. Okay. Then you can drag, click and drag to get the sales of north. Here north is total sale is there. This is the sale of 𝐿𝐺𝐻, and in north 𝐿𝐺𝐻 have no sale in this model number, and also here. Similarly, you can give another zone, or you can change the model number. Suppose select here, you can select here, then model number we can change into some other model. Suppose SGA70, one of the model. Then you press enter. There is no sale by 𝐿𝐺𝐻. So suppose we have to change the name to Mukesh. Okay, Mukesh. Then here you click and drag for getting Mukesh sale in north zone. So this mobile number Mukesh has not say. Okay, we can change this to also Ajaz. So spelling is important. AGAZ. If you type S, you won't get any result. So Ajaz, we can find another value. Okay, here also there is no difference. So Ajaz of some other model we can type here. Then you can see the difference. That is Ajaz. Suppose we use this is West. Suppose West. Then you can see another values here. Also West, there is a model by Ajaz. In this way, we can easily find out the values in accordance with the criteria and the criteria range. Once you understand some ifs, it is very easy to understand COUNTIFS. There is a slight difference in their syntax. So let us see. We have click here for typing the formula. That is equal to COUNTIFS. Then tab. This asks the criteria range. First it is sales zone. So we select sales zone here. Then we have to convert it into absolute range by F4. Then comma. So this is the criteria. After criteria 1, they ask criteria range and then criteria 1. So press enter. So we get the answer. That is, since we converted into absolute range, we can just drag it. So here this is only for this. We have to edit it. For editing, it is better to go here. Then put the comma. Then comma. Then next it is asking criteria range 2. Range 2. Then criteria. So range 2 it is salesman. Criteria range we selected. Then change it to absolute range by pressing F4. Then we can give the comma. Then criteria 2 we have to mention that it is criteria 2. Press enter. So we get the answer. Here also we have to just drag to the next cell for avoiding the typing all the criteria and all the criteria range. Then click here. We have to edit this. It's a comma. Then range 3 we have to select from here model. Okay. Then it is converted into absolute range by pressing F4. Then comma. Then 3 criteria 3 is this one. We select here. So we can see the selection by color code here. The 3 criteria and 3 ranges. Press enter. So we got this. So here also we can just drag to the next cell, and we have to edit this cell. Okay, edit this cell. How can we edit? Go here and click here. Okay, then it asks the criteria range 4, that is color. So we select this, then press F4 for converting into absolute range, then comma. Then we can click here for criteria and press enter. So in this way we can change here also. Suppose we change this into north. We get the total number of count of north. Then we can drag it to get the north by Ajaz. So it is, if there is a spelling error, it won't work. So be careful about the spelling. So in north Ajaz only 1, the total is 4. And similarly we can edit the change here. So we can give this as east. East, there is spelling. East, there is nothing with Ajaz. Suppose if it is 𝐿𝐺𝐻, value may be different. That means here, because the mobile model number, there is no such model number by 𝐿𝐺𝐻 here. So suppose here we can type 𝐿𝐺𝐻 and you can find the difference in the, this becomes 2. In this way we can use COUNTIFS. So a slight difference from that is COUNTIF. So now we wind up the class here. Next day or in the next class, we will discuss how SUMIFS and COUNTIFs can be used with date, the difference between date and the total values or total sales in 1 month or in 2 months. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Goodbye.